Welcome back, everyone, to episode of 115 of the Popcorn Podcast. I'm Tommy Cresta. Alongside me, my co-host, the handsome and forever a genius, Ryan Ferran.
I like that second part.
Yeah, you're welcome. And we are here today to rank the Conjuring Universe. And before we get into that, I just want to wish every one of our listeners and people who decide to watch our beautiful faces on YouTube a very, very happy Halloween. I know Ryan's making funny faces.
Tired.
And yeah, Halloween is my favorite holiday. It's what I think is the best holiday of the year. I like scares, I like horror, and I like costumes. I think they look pretty cool. They're fun.
Yeah.
And who doesn't love some free candy, especially when you're built like me?
Yeah, I like putting razor blades.
Off to a strong start in this week's episode.
That's my Halloween tradition.
But yeah, we are here to talk about the Conjuring Universe and rank them from worst to best. But we're going to try a little bit of a different format this week on the show. And if anyone's wondering why one of our mics is sounding a little weird, Ryan's mic that he's been using for a while now just seems like some of the wiring's a little messed up.
Seems like it's just getting a little old. So if it sounds a little off, it is what it is, unfortunately.
Yeah, just kind of have to deal with it at this point.
I don't think when we were testing it wasn't that bad. Like it was
just a little bubbly.
A little noticeable, but not like terrible. So
yeah,
hopefully it's all right.
It could always be worse.
Yeah.
But yeah, we are. Oh my god, I forgot to close out these tabs. It makes the recording worse.
Dummy.
Okay, there we go. Oh, there we go. So yeah, I've watched the entire Conjuring universe beforehand, and this was Ryan's first time through, and it was fun to get to sit down and rewatch all these films that I adore, films I deeply have a hatred for, and everywhere in between. It let me see James Wan again in what I think is his best form. Still dealing with that cold from the last episode.
Done. You saw that menthol snorter you had?
No.
Did you use it all up?
Yeah. Yeah, you saw how
you were railing that thing.
But yeah, it was fun to get to rewatch all the movies and get it from a rewatching standpoint instead of just first time through. But yeah, before I talk more about my opinion on it, Ryan, I want to hear your opinion from someone who's never seen any of the movies except for the first Conjuring and working your way back through it.
Yeah, the only ones I'd seen the first Conjuring and Annabelle Creation, the one on the farm. And I mean, I hadn't seen him in a while, so I knew, like, the one I remembered was Conjuring. I remember pretty much all that one, but Annabelle I hadn't seen in longer, so still had some new things, I guess. But I thought, as a whole, the series is pretty good. It definitely has its highs and lows. The Conjuring trilogy, as of right now, is still the mainstay of it, I think. As a whole, it's better than the Annabelle trilogy, and the Nuns, whatever the hell they want to do with that. Yeah, whatever they want to do with that. La Llorona doesn't exist. Oh. But yeah, no, I thought as a series, it's not bad. It's not bad at all. And I think with horror, the one thing that's made me enjoy it more than just in general, especially with like Conjuring and Insidious specifically, mostly just James Wan in general, but like having a horror, like a true horror universe where like all their demons can come into the movie and be like, "What's up? You miss me?" It's kind of it's just fun. So yeah, I think as a universe, it works pretty well for the most part. But yeah, that's it. Without mostly not great movies, but it was fun. Yeah. Entertainment.
It's always fun to get to sit down with someone who's not the biggest horror guy.
Yeah.
But it's been fun to watch you since the podcast. It's been since we really moved into the studio. That you started to really open up more into the horror genre.
Yeah, I don't mind it now.
Yeah, like
it's whatever. I'm numb to it.
Well, unless
it's Korean movies, and I'm like
Jojima. I'm just gonna call it Jojima Haunted Asylum every time. But that's
like Gojima or something.
Gojima.
Yeah.
Gojima.
Gojima. You're adding another M. Gojima. The M is at the end. It doesn't end with an A. Go. G.
Ma. Oh.
Dumbass.
Whatever. That's a great horror movie, and that's just an all-around really well-made film. But that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about the Conjuring movies, which have, as Ryan said, has very high highs and very low lows.
Yeah.
So, and then there's whatever in between, which I think is where me and Ryan feel differently, is the in-between part of the franchises.
Yeah.
But I think we can agree on what's the best and what is the worst of the franchise, of the universe. But yeah, I think it's going to be a nice little fun Halloween special for everyone. Hope everyone had a good Halloween. Hopefully Ryan didn't put any razor blades in your guys' candy. But yeah,
We'll see.
So you brought up this new format of how you want to do it.
Yeah, I think just every time we do these list movies, it always ends up being like, you know, I'll talk about a movie before you get to it, and then by the time you're talking about it, you're like, well, Ryan already said this, or vice versa. I'm like, Tom, you already said this. So I think we're gonna go through and just review all the movies individually in order, whatever chronological or release order. I don't care how you want to do it. Yeah, it's whatever. We can just talk about them individually, and then at the end, we'll just say our list just as it is. I think it'll be quicker, and we'll get to talk about the same movie at the same time, so we can actually have a discussion about it. We'll see how it works. All right, ready? I have it up. You want to do release order? All right, release order, then we start with The Conjuring. 2013. I think it's pretty universally known as the best movie out of this series, if not the best horror movie ever. I know it is in your opinion, but yeah, I mean it really is hard to argue any other way. This is definitely going to be both of our number ones. It's just a very good movie. It's scary. All the actors are great. You really feel for all the characters, the family that's getting haunted. You feel bad for all the kids. All the kid actors were good, which is something that we'll get to when a few of these movies come around. And we're like, oh, this kid sucks. But yeah, it's just a really, really well made horror movie from James Wan. And I mean, at this point, the guy's probably not going to miss when it comes to horror, more or less. But yeah, what do you think?
No, I think them starting off with The Conjuring to set up this entire universe was probably the best way to do it because they had to have had an idea that this was probably gonna be their strongest one.
Yeah,
Like, coming out the gates, like right away, having James Wan directed, getting actors that are well known to do this movie with them, having a very iconic score that sticks with me now, and I just like how they film it. I like that they take horror tropes that a lot of us all know and they make it a little bit different. They kind of turn on its head where it doesn't follow the exact trope that everyone knows, but it still follows the path of a generic horror movie, but then does things that separates itself, which is why I think this, The Exorcist, Jaws, those kind of movies are what I think are the best horror movies. Or Halloween, like movies that can feel like most other horror movies, but then have moments where you're like, that's not something I'm used to seeing. Like,
yeah,
and then having it true story off of real people that you can look up and read about, the Warrens, who are very famous demonologists. And yeah, I just think the first Conjuring movie is iconic, and I think it will be forever remembered as one of the best horror movies ever.
Yeah. I mean, you look at just everything about it, from the Warrens and Vera Farmiga and Patrick Wilson playing them. Sorry, Ocean Master playing them. Everybody in this movie is great. I forget the actors, the people who play the family, but they're great too. There's some of the characters. That is the thing in horror that I've said before, that like, if you don't feel bad for the people who are being haunted, you're not really scared for them, because when you feel bad for them, you care about them. So when you don't care about them, you're not really scared for them. You feel bad for this family because it's just a bunch of little kids getting haunted. It's terrible. So yeah, I think this is one of the movies that is really scary in this series. And as they go on, I think they really get less scary, unfortunately. But yeah, other than that, besides the scares, it is just a really, really well-made film. Like, it's just good. It's a good movie, which is rare in horror a lot of the time, unfortunately. So yeah, there's a few shining spots in this series. This is probably the shiniest to me and to you and to probably everyone. But yeah, no, it was just a good movie. Good movie.
Yeah, I'm in agreement. And then what next is Annabelle.
Next is Annabelle from 2014.
Wow, Annabelle. This movie had a special place in my heart at the time when it first came out, and that is because I'd watched it with my mom, and I jumped down, scared her, and she kind of started crying.
Yeah.
And to me, like, I always remember, I was like, oh, Annabelle was so scary because it made my mom cry. When I really made my mom cry, which I was number one son of the year.
Funny.
But
who cares?
Going into the actual movie, when we rewatched it, this movie has an incredible opening. It is just a very scary home invasion gone wrong.
Yeah.
And then from then on out, it is nothing. There's no substance, no style. There's nothing to it.
Yeah, it's
just,
really.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you finished.
It's just dull. It's not fun. It's not scary. I mean, I think it might be the least scary one in the franchise. Like, out of every movie. And to me, it's by far the weakest Annabelle movie. And I think they kind of, each one got a little bit better and better. and they kind of decided like to make it a little more fun. And this one's just bad. None of the performances were like anything memorable. The scares, they attempted them, and they just followed every known horror trope.
Yeah.
Like what I said about The Conjuring, they follow them, but they make them their own. This one just follows it, and Ryan was even at the point saying like, "Oh, I wonder what's gonna happen here. Something's gonna burst in the background, and that's what would happen." So it just shows that it's not a very well made movie, and it just wasn't good. It was a dud, which is unfortunate because Annabelle in real life is one of the most famous conduit possession stories ever made, and I ever told. I'm sorry, and so I wish this one was better than what we ended up getting.
Yeah, no,
I wish it actually followed the real story, just
Yeah.
of the nurses that we see throughout three of the Conjuring movies, instead of just showing us this random family that's all made up.
Yeah, like you're saying, it's just dull. Like there's nothing to it. That opening scene was cool because it's just people. It's actually people dying, which again I think throughout all of these movies, besides The Nun, I feel like people don't really die that often. You know what I mean? Like you see a few like ghosts and bodies. I mean, Devil Made Me Do It, I guess. But like, I think Conjuring 2, nobody really died.
No one dies in Conjuring.
Yeah,
2.
no one dies. Like Conjuring 1, you obviously see people who had died in the past, but like I feel like in a lot of these movies, people don't die that much. I feel like they've changed that now, just because
I'm okay with people
it's
not
much
dying,
easier.
though.
Yeah, no, I'm
Because if
saying
it's a true story, then just follow the true story.
Yeah.
See, I'm okay. When we get to the Nun movies, I'll say my little piece on those.
Yeah.
But I get why in the Conjuring movies specifically no one dies.
Mm-hmm.
Just because it's
No,
doesn't
yeah,
make
it's
any sense to the true stories.
Yeah, no, if it's a true story, nobody dies. That's fine. That's good. I think what I was more so saying is like by the end, after James Wan leaves, they definitely lost confidence and just went like, all right, show somebody falling off a cliff and dying. And like, it's such an easy way to get the audience involved. Like, oh, this ghost is scary. It's killing people now. Instead of relying on it being actually scary, instead of just making someone die for the sake of dying. It's just much easier to have somebody get killed by a ghost and have it be scary because somebody died than have it be actually scary and people be afraid of it.
Yeah, no, I agree with you.
Yeah.
I just think the movie's just poorly made.
Yeah, no, it's just a dud. And the characters are nothing special. Although the guy who plays the husband, the guy who plays the husband is fine, but he is husband of the year. Like, he is just going in for the most part.
He tries.
He tries, yeah. The wife is just kind of like,
and then the stupid
my baby,
other
and then
woman that shows up.
the other woman that's only there to jump out the window at the end. It's just dumb.
MacGuffin.
Yeah, she's just there to die. Do you even see the demon at all?
Yeah.
Do you see it at the end?
It's the Black Horn Demon.
No, I know what it is.
It's in the basement.
Do you see it in this one?
Yeah.
Okay, I wasn't sure if you saw it in this
Remember,
one.
it's in the basement with her with the elevator.
Okay,
It's like standing with its hand out.
gotcha. That was the one scene that was actually pretty good.
That's a good scene, but then they ruin it.
Yeah, then everything else.
Remember the upside down shot of the demon?
Mm-hmm.
That's just like random.
Yeah.
Like, that's
It's just stupid.
That's the whole point. Anytime they starts feeling itself and getting a little good, it does something stupid to ruin that moment.
Yeah, it's just very by the books. You know what's gonna happen. There's nothing special about it. But moving on to 2016's
Conjuring 2.
Conjuring 2. Yep. Yeah. Again, another good movie.
This is a movie we have different opinions on.
Yeah, no, I think it was still a good movie. I think that just it wasn't as good as Conjuring 1. I'd still say it was a really good movie, though. Still really enjoyed myself watching it. But, yeah.
Oh, okay.
What do you think?
I thought you thought it was, like, fine.
No, I thought it was good.
You're so, like, monotone. You're, like, when you're done watching
I don't have emotions.
Yeah, you don't.
I'm Dennis.
So, I'm in agreement with this. For a long time, I thought Conjuring 2 was a better movie than Conjuring 1. And I don't agree with that now. That's not saying that this movie. I think The Conjuring 1 is just a really great movie. Conjuring 2 is a very good horror movie. It is a good movie.
Yeah.
Well, I think The Conjuring might, in my opinion, I know this makes you mad. It's probably like a 90, 91 in my opinion. The Conjuring 2 is probably like an 82.
Yeah, that's fair.
And I just think The Conjuring 2, there's nothing wrong with the movie. And there's the stop motion Wicker Man, the Crooked Man, which is a little weird. But besides that, there's some great scenes. Like when the girl's voice changes when they're facing away from her, and then you get to hear the actual tape of it. That's why I think this movie is so good. 'Cause the first two Conjurings itself, they used real moments, and they show you those moments. Like if people are like, "Oh, that's probably not real," they show you like what happened.
Yeah, in the credits.
Which I think is a really cool way of doing it. Instead of showing the actual moment in the movie, they use the movie version and then they explain it in the credits.
Oh, did they do it in the first one?
Mhm.
So I remember they have pictures, but I don't remember any
They
like
have
audio.
they have the pictures of like what happens. And
It's
stuff.
just the family though. I don't think it
No, they
show
have the
like
house, and then they have the picture of that door opening. Remember the scene when the camera goes off because the basement door? They show that.
I don't remember that. Okay,
it's all throughout the credits.
Fair
But
enough.
yeah, that's why I like those movies so much because they actually do that.
Yeah.
And I wish it was something they did a little bit more.
No,
But yeah. I have nothing really bad against The Conjuring 2. I think James Wan just again proves that he's the best at making paranormal horror.
Yeah.
And just horror in general. So yeah, I like this movie.
Yeah. No, I think it was a really good movie. I'd agree with you that like it's probably a good 9 or 10 points below Conjuring 1. But that's not to say it's a bad movie because Conjuring 1 was a really good movie. So yeah, it's a good movie. Again, like you were saying about the Crooked Man being like stop motion looking, I was not a fan of that because I thought like when he goes in the tent and it just smiles at him, super creepy shot, awesome design. But then it starts getting out of the tent and it's like, okay, this isn't very scary anymore.
Yeah.
It's just like if it was just a big lanky dude, like if you got a dude on stilts, probably be a little dangerous for him. But like if you could put some padding on the ground,
a tall dude, like
it would have been kind of cool.
That's one of those moments I'm okay with CGI.
Yeah.
Stop motion looked weird.
It just looked, it's so choppy. I don't know. I wasn't a fan. But I think one of my main things with Conjuring 2, bless you, you way overhyped Valak for me.
Valak scares the shit out of me.
I mean, she was creepy. Don't get me wrong. She's scary. But you hyped her up to be like, this is the main villain of the Conjuring universe.
The main villain of the Conjuring.
No, she's just the main villain of this movie. And then they made spin-offs of her.
Two, this one.
No, everybody just thought she was cool, and they made spin-offs. That doesn't mean she's the main villain of it.
Because now, as you've seen Nun 2, she's through generation.
Yeah, but she wasn't in Conjuring 3 or any of the Annabelles. She was in Annabelle. There were pictures of her in Annabelle 3, but she's not in Conjuring 3. She's only in those 3 movies.
It's considered like the main villain.
Okay.
There is, I guess, if you really think about it, it's not really. The devil's really the main villain.
Yeah. You were hyping her up like she was going to be in every movie in the background.
Oh, I didn't mean to do that. I just think that she's awesome.
Yeah. No, she was cool.
She's like an iconic, like, when I think like horror characters, I always think of Valak.
But I think the thing with Conjuring 2 is that, like, I kind of said this to you, like, throughout the movies, but what scares me way more than anything is, like, just creepy stuff. Like, when you hear something in the background and it's I like creepy. Like, if you're going to make me scared, make me fear something. I hate when it's just, like, a monster screaming into a camera because it's, like, a second of being jump scared and then you're good because you know it's a movie and you're like, okay, that was cool. That was all this movie was. That was all Valak was she would just stand in the corner and look kind of creepy for 2 seconds. And then she would grow teeth and scream. And I'm like, okay, that's not creepy anymore. Like, it's just, they just kind of ruin it like that. They go a little too over the top. I wish they would lean into more of just like the creep factor instead of the scare factor. Because the scare is good at the end, but you got to build that up. And I feel like they kind of fail at building up a lot of scenes, especially in like the end of these movies. The end when they kind of make it more action packed and like they're like held up against the wall praying and it's like it's it's not bad but it's a little over the top
they
for
go
me.
a little too far. I see that.
Yeah. But like the scenes in the beginning, like the fire truck scene when the kids again like the fire truck pushed back to him.
Oh, that
was a creepy scene. Like I really like that stuff because it creeps me out. But yeah, I think it's a thing with a lot of mostly American horror movies.
It is a thing
and a lot of these movies of just like not holding the creepiness for long enough and just going straight to the big action jump scare. It just kind of ruins a scene for me if I'm like starting to get scared and then I'm like, okay, this is just a big CGI monster now.
No, well.
Yeah. Moving on to 2017's Annabelle Creation.
Mid.
Yeah. The other one that I saw.
I don't remember anything really. It's very forgettable.
Yeah. It's fine. It's the one where you really see, at least that I remember seeing, because when I watched this and I saw the demon for the first time, I was like, oh, it scared the shit out of me. Was not a fan. Seeing it again, it's definitely creepy. I think it's a really, really good design.
Oh, the black demon.
Yeah, the black, like the horns.
I like the stuff with the little girl more though, when it's just a little girl instead of the black demon.
No, yeah, that is creepy.
Because I think kids are just frightening.
Yeah, no, I think
Black Demons. It is better than this. Yeah. It was better this time when I saw it.
I think it's a good design. Yeah. It wasn't bad. And the scene where like it's in the barn and it's like crawling on the roof, knocking the lights off. Creepy. It's really good because it's really creepy.
I don't like creepy crawlies. So stay away.
Yeah.
But yeah. I think this movie's just forgettable though. I don't think there's anything. This is just showing you what the Annabelle story is.
Yeah.
And it does that because it does explain what happened. But yeah, that I don't have much to say about Annabelle Creation because I just don't
Yeah.
It's just a forgettable movie. It's fine, just not great.
Yeah, and I think the thing with putting so many kids in these movies is you kind of know they're not going to die, for the most part. La Llorona, I'll give it. It killed a few
they went for
kids.
it.
I'll give it that. But like the thing with, especially with this movie, is like
There's no danger.
because the like old guy, the homeowner, he gets killed, and then like the wife gets killed, which she got cut in half. That was nice.
No, remember the dude was all broken.
Yeah, he was all broken, and that was awesome. But then like it can do that to the grown people, but it can't kill the little girls. It's like, okay, it's fine, whatever. You just kind of know that the kids are going to be perfectly fine at the end of the day. So it's just, it's always in the back of your head. But
I like how we said no one dies.
Yeah.
And then
she got
Annabelle, they die. Annabelle Creation.
Yo, Annabelle got smoked by that car. She got.
Oh, I meant Annabelle the first movie because the 2 people die in the beginning, the parents. Then the 2 crazy people die.
Yeah, the girl
one jumps out the window. Annabelle 2, Annabelle died.
Yeah.
I just think it's funny that we said that, and then the movies after that all went with a bunch of people. I guess Annabelle's the one that has the most deaths.
Yeah, probably. Well, none probably does because I feel like.
Oh, there's actual killing.
Well, Annabelle probably has the most like on-screen deaths. The Nun has the most
the
like
nuns
bodies.
are all dead already.
Yeah,
it's actually a better twist than I remembered it being.
It's not terrible.
I didn't remember that.
Yeah,
but we'll get to that.
Yeah, Annabelle Creation's just
fine.
It's very middle of the road for me. It was okay. It wasn't great. It wasn't terrible. Good stuff. Had okay stuff. It was fine. Moving on. 2018's The Nun.
I went to the midnight premiere for this movie. Was very disappointed when I saw it. Came back the second time. Liked it more than I did the first time. However, it has very good performances by the Farmiga sister. I can't remember what her first name is.
Yeah.
But she was very good. She's very good in both of these movies. I wish they just let Valak be Valak in this one instead of finding the need to show all the other demons.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I know you have your opinion on the second Nun. But in the second one, I like that just her and then like the goat.
Yeah.
Like this one has all of those ghosts in it. It's just something I didn't like.
So what are the ghosts? I remember the little boy. Because he was the
other ghost nuns. Remember the ones that are in the graveyard? The snake and everything. Then
boy
and then stuff like that.
Yeah, I guess I see what you're saying. I didn't mind the little boy because that was the guy, the priest, the Spanish dude.
Yeah, but then remember it got goofy as hell.
It did get goofy, but I didn't mind it being like it was a kid that he accidentally killed in an exorcism. He just couldn't save him, and it's coming back to haunt him. I didn't mind that because I thought like coming back to haunt him in more like a psychological way, and I thought that'd be kind of neat, but it ended up being a little goofy. You're right.
Yeah, I just think the movie it gets a little too far.
Mm-hmm.
It goes a little too far off the. God, I can't think.
Off the deep end.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
But the sets look great. The performances are very good. Especially for a horror movie, the performances are very good.
Mm-hmm.
And I like the characters. I like all of them. I know Valak is not your favorite character, but I think Valak's just scary.
Yeah.
Just a tall, creepy, pale woman.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Valak is cool, but I wish they just made her more the forefront in the first Nun movie, especially when that's what you hyped it up as the greatest evil, the Conjuring Universe.
Yeah.
And they don't do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my quick thoughts on the Nun.
Yeah, The Nun 1 it's really not the best movie at all. But like you said, I like the characters. Frenchie's he's that dude for most of the time. Yeah, Sister Irene, she was cool. Who else? I do kind of hate the blood of Jesus stuff. It feels like it just comes out of nowhere, and it's just like Knights Templar coming in. You're like, what the hell am I watching?
I always think of the Nun movies as the Indiana Jones movies.
Yeah,
of the horror.
There's always that like MacGuffin.
I love that shit.
Yeah, it is.
I eat that up every
it's
time.
Fun. It's definitely fun.
We'll get back to this argument between me and Ryan when we get to the Nun too.
Yeah. Yeah, no, the Nun is just fine. I think you mentioned it though. My favorite part of this movie is the set. That castle looks dope. I don't care what anybody says.
Castle.
It's a castle to me.
Convent.
It still looks dope. I don't care. It just looks cool. And yeah, it's a fine movie. It's funny in a lot of ways. The way they take it down, she spits the blood out. I'm like, ew.
I love that.
2,000-year-old blood. Gross.
Oh, you know that she had copper taste in her mouth for a year.
Oh, man. Yeah, no, that just the Knights coming in. I'm like, what the fuck am I watching?
It's because I don't think the first one does it good. Like I think it kind of just misses like its main.
Yeah, no, definitely.
But yeah. What's next?
Yeah, but you're right. It's definitely the Indiana Jones of these movies. Just a random artifact they got to find to take her out.
What's next, Ryan?
What's next? Oh, baby. 2019's Curse of La Llorona.
Jesus God. Can we just talk? Can we just for a
Yo,
second?
the first like 20 minutes were not that bad.
No. Once they get the two first kids you see die, then they're at the river bay.
Yeah.
The riverbank.
Because we literally said
creepy
like
as hell.
We literally said like, when is this movie gonna get bad? And then as soon as we said that, it just
As soon as they leave the riverbank, it gets bad.
Yeah.
But like, there's some great scenes to start this movie, like really creepy ass shit, and then it just becomes horrible. Michael Chavez, stop with the slow motion, because now I've seen you direct multiple movies. You love your slow motion in these horror movies. Stop.
Yeah.
Stop. You guys have two great templates with The Conjuring 1 and 2. Just do that every time, just with different characters. Like it's a great way of doing it. I don't know how it's not done better. But yeah, this movie is it's the weakest, one of the weakest ones in the universe. And it's not bad performances. It's the kids just aren't very good in this one. And it just shows how good James Wan was at casting the kids, because everyone he does is the kids are great.
Yeah.
But this movie just was missing scares, and La Llorona's design was just poor. I wish they just made her look like a normal person that was just creepy.
Yeah.
Because the design just made it goofy.
It was just the same as everything else. It's just
Pale yellow eyes,
and black sludge coming out. It's just okay. Cool.
Violet don't got sludge. She's got dark eyes.
Yeah.
She's just scary.
Now Violet does. It's a better design than most.
Oh yeah, going off most horror movies, it's not hard. It lives inside.
I don't think I've ever
just
seen that
watch
one.
with Ian and Sean.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the googly eyes.
Fishman. Yo, Ocean Master would have controlled that dog.
Ocean Master would have killed it. But yeah,
Ocean Master.
Not good. La Llorona's just not good. I don't think it's the worst, but it's close.
Yeah.
I don't think it's the worst though.
I think it's brought down by, like you said, the kids were just particularly bad, which is unfortunate because I hate to like shit on kids.
No, you don't.
But I mean, yeah. But it's fun to talk shit on children. But at the same time, I do feel bad for them because I don't want them to get discouraged and be like, I'm never going to act again. They could end up being pretty good. They just got, just got to grow up and practice a little bit. I don't know.
Yeah, they're kids. I don't hold it against them.
Yeah, it's not their fault. And it's definitely more so directing than anything because there are shots where the little girl is just like, oh, like you got to tell her what to do, man. She's a child.
Yeah,
help her out.
It just has its own writing problems.
It's gotta help her help you. Yeah, but as a whole, it's just not a great movie. I wasn't a fan of Tuco coming in at the very end.
Tuco sucked.
He
was my least favorite part.
Because you see him in like the beginning and he's doing the memorial. And
it's like a half second.
Yeah, like he's not a character yet. And then they're like, go to him, he can help you. And then he's helping them.
And the stupid CGI eggs.
Yeah, that was dumb.
Can we move to the next?
Yeah, it just needed to be longer, I think, if anything.
No, God,
no. Like you could have made it better if it was longer.
It would have been better.
Yeah, but if you make an hour and a half movie that feels like it's 2.5 hours long, you're like, Jesus Christ, put something in here. Yeah, just not good.
So we're at 2020.
Not good. We are at 2019's Annabelle Comes Home. Double feature this year.
Yo.
Wow.
I forget how to say your name, the director. Great job. Make another one. Make another movie. Do the fourth one.
I got you.
You did a very good job. This movie isn't the best critical aspect of it, even though it is one of the higher rated movies in the franchise. I think it's not as great if you look at it from a critical aspect. But if you're just looking for a fun Halloween scary movie with some couple good scares mixed in, this is a good movie. It's fun. And you can see a lot of different aspects of the Warrens' investigations, a lot of famous folklores and all that kind of stuff. So it is fun, and all the performances are very good. And always remember, Bob's got balls.
Bob's got balls.
Bob's got balls.
But
yeah, I really enjoyed this one. And yeah, I'm excited for Annabelle 4. And I hope this guy returns.
Yeah, directed by Gary Dauberman. Hope I'm saying that right. Dauberman.
You got balls.
Written by Gary Dauberman and James Wan.
Oh yeah, because I remember we were looking at it like, oh, James Wan wrote this one. That's why it was so good.
He co-wrote it. Yeah, this one, like you were saying, this is the most fun one. Yeah, it's not very good, but I was thoroughly entertained throughout.
It is. I think it's in the top 4 critically rated one.
Yeah, that is 64.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't think it's.
I don't know if the other ones have, but
it's 86, 83. It might be that one next.
I don't even know. Yeah, like it's just the most entertaining one. I mean, you got everything you want. You got
samurai,
old dudes, samurais, ghosts, killer ghost brides, a fucking werewolf. It's just a good time. It's the most Halloween-y one. Yeah, the ferryman's cool looking. It's the one, if you're going to sit down and watch a Conjuring movie with your friends on Halloween, this is the one.
This is the one.
Because it has the most going on. There's the most scary things and jump scares and shit. It's the most fun movie. It's definitely one. I mean, it's not the best, obviously. But yeah, I mean, I think all the actors were okay.
I don't think it's any of them. I liked everyone.
Yeah.
Even the pizza guy.
Pizza
Guy was funny as hell.
It was funny. Yeah, Bob.
Great score.
Yeah.
Just Beatles the entire movie.
Yeah. There's only that one Beatles song though. I wish they got some more.
Oh, is it just more of the same song throughout?
They only played the Beatles song a few
that
times. Yeah, but it wasn't all Beatles.
Oh,
They played the most.
Seeing you.
No, they kept playing like the same Beatles song. I forget which one.
Oh, it was the same song though.
Yeah, for the most part.
Oh.
Because they kept like, remember, like it would turn on and be like, turn off.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was just starting with the record
They made
back
a
up.
shitty cake too.
Oh, terrible cake.
Cake just fell apart.
Yeah. No, this movie isn't super well made. Like you're sitting there, and it'll be like the scene.
Fog.
Oh, the fog is so funny. It's like it's comically foggy. Yeah, but like Bob will get stuck in the chicken coop, and like the movie won't come back to him for like 25 minutes. You're like, is Bob okay?
I've just been sitting in that chicken coop,
chilling with a werewolf outside. You're like, Jesus Christ.
Black Shock.
Yeah, no, it's not a great movie, but it is
a lot of fun.
It's a very fun movie.
Give them credit, and that's what they were going for, and it works because it does have scary shots.
No, they go
There's
for
definitely some creepiness in this movie.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, big fan. Next one.
2021's Conjuring. The Devil Made Me Do It.
That was the last. Oh no, the Nun.
Yeah. So this is the one we just watched right before recording this. This is our last one.
This movie, again, this is Michael Chavez.
Yeah.
And I think he improved.
I do.
From the first one, the movie he did, La Llorona.
Yeah.
La Llorona. But there's still, he went a little too far again. When I think he should have toned it down, maybe focused a little more on just them investigating.
Mm-hmm.
Focusing on the murder and everything, not so much that it's cursed.
Yeah.
But I do like that's another person instead of a ghost this time. It makes it a little different.
Yep.
Try something new. But there was just a little hokey for the end of a trilogy of one of the most renowned horror franchises ever made.
Yeah.
So that's just my quick thoughts on it.
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, I did really like that it wasn't just a ghost this time. Like it was a lady who was a Satanist lady who was putting a curse on this person. It's obviously kind of dumb when you think about it. Like they didn't have to do that, but it just adds something different that hasn't been on these movies.
That's why I get it.
Yeah, that's why I enjoyed it because it was just a new angle for this. So I enjoyed it in that aspect. But the movie was just fine. It was very middle of the road. I mean, everybody was okay.
Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga are just
they're always gonna be good.
They're just very good in their roles, but everyone else was mid.
Yeah,
like I don't remember any of the characters' names. Like Ernest, just because he's a real person. And if you guys want to know more about it, go read into the actual case of it because it is a lot cooler than the actual movie of it. Because they change a lot of stuff for the movie when it's not very close to the true story. But yeah, it's cool. I highly recommend. It was the first time demonic possession was used in a court case in the United States.
His name was not Ernest, but you're good.
It's not Ernest?
It's Arnie.
Arnie? What was Ernest? Oh, Ernest was Killers of the Flower Moon.
Yeah.
Ernest Barkhart.
Ernest
Arnie.
Burkhart? Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
My bad. Wrong name.
Because he was the one main character, so I remember his name.
I don't remember the
You're
actor's
very confident.
Like, I don't remember.
I don't know.
I just thought it. Damn, I thought I knew his name.
Arnie.
But yeah, go read into it because it is a really cool story that they finally did decide to accept demonic possession in a courtroom.
I don't know if cool's the right word. He murdered somebody, but
oh no, he did murder someone, but he was tried for first degree and he ended up getting charged with manslaughter. For those who don't know the court, that is it's a major drop off.
Yeah,
and he was out in 5 years. Which is pretty cool.
He went from the death penalty to 5 years in prison.
That's crazy.
Pretty impressive.
Yeah. It's a cool story. There's a book on it too.
Yeah, no, it was a fine movie, entertaining. Yeah, it was a good time.
Middle of the road.
There's really not much to say about it. Yeah, it was fine. Moving on to the last one, the only one I got to see in theaters. We both got to see in theaters at the same time. Is 2023's The Nun 2,
which I've seen 3 times.
Rise of Valak. No, I'm joking.
Which I've seen 3 times.
Really?
I really like this movie. Every time I think I like it.
I thought it was fun.
I think this is the best movie by Michael Chavez out of the 3 he's done.
No, I think Conjuring 3 was better.
I knew we were going to disagree.
But I mean, that's It's your opinion, bro.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna get mad at you for that.
Yeah.
But I just like Valak. Valak scares the shit out of me. I was walking into my house thinking she was gonna be standing in my hallway. I like this movie. It's maybe not the scariest movie, but to me it's creepy just because Valak, a lot of the time in this one, they just had her standing there and then we grab someone when instead of her having to be this big giant demon. When she does do that at the end. But in the first one she does it a lot, and I don't like that. But like I like seeing her just like possess someone. I just like the story in this one. I like all the performances. I just really like the movie. I like the whole gotta find the eyes and all that stuff. I like Stormy Reed in this one. She was very good.
Yeah.
And I just liked everyone. I like this movie. And I think it's one of the better films in this universe. And I think it's the best that Michael Chavez has done. And I know you don't like the ending. I love the ending just because, I don't know. It's such a fun ending.
Yeah.
It's not, don't get me wrong. It's probably like, in my opinion, it's like a 64, 65.
Yeah.
But again, that's not much that's pretty high in this universe besides the first two. So yeah, I like this movie. I know Ryan feels much different about it, but I recommend everyone go watch it, especially if you enjoy this universe.
Yeah. No, I thought it was a good time. I didn't think it was great by any means. I've seen people talk about, the scene of the newspaper stand where like she slowly turns into Valak, all the newspapers do. The scene did not scare me at all. I've seen people saying it's not terrible.
I knew it was gonna happen.
Yeah, like you see it coming a mile away.
It was just cool.
It was kind of neat, but I've seen people posting like, "This is the scariest scene I've ever seen." Like, what?
No.
Have you never watched the movie before? What were you expecting?
There's scary scenes in that movie than that.
Yeah.
Like the scariest scene's not even a jump. I guess it's Crowston playing it. When that girl opens that door and she's just in the Warrens' hallway, that scene freaks me the fuck. I don't like that.
No, I know that freaks you out.
Standing and then turn, which is a scary scene in the second Conjuring movie.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's the best scene. Like the scene that stuck with me.
I think honestly, the scariest thing in Nun 2 was that goat thing.
See, I thought the goat was the weakest part.
That thing freaked me out. I don't know why. It was just running so fast. I was like, yo, what the hell?
That thing was moving.
Yeah, it came out of nowhere.
Yeah, that's pretty.
But I like when they first see it and it's like slowly moving behind like the stairs. I was like,
that was kind of creepy.
What the fuck is that?
Its head moves.
Yeah,
that was a pretty good scene.
That was a good scene.
Also, like, the movie has its moments.
Yeah.
But I will say, scene I wish they kept from the trailer. You know, in the trailer when the girl puts her head into the vent and it's Valak in the corner.
No.
Oh,
I don't remember.
The old one reaches out and grabs her baby. It's a dead old headmaster. She grabs the girl through the vent.
Oh yeah.
And Stormy Reed gets scared and then helps her.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in the trailer, it's Valak.
Oh really?
And it is a creepy edge. Like they're following the cockroaches, and they're all like going towards Valak.
Gotcha.
And she's just in the corner with her head down.
Okay.
And it scared the shit out of me. And then
was it not in that movie?
No, it's the headmaster.
Was it? Okay.
Because I was really mad that they did that.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I like this movie. I think it's a lot of fun. It's not it's of course most of these movies aren't critically good, besides the two first Conjuring movies.
Yeah.
But it's a fun time. I think people were really weird about it when it first came out. They're like, "Oh, it's getting bombed." It was like I think it's ranked now like 5th in the Conjuring universe. It has like a 56, I think, critically. It has like an 88 audience score. So that's what it was when it debuted. I'm probably wrong now. But yeah, do you want? So moving on from that, those are our thoughts on the movies. Now we're gonna do a quick list breakdown.
Yeah, this is gonna be really quick because I still haven't made a list, so we're gonna do it on the fly. I do want to check Nun 2's scores though, because you were asking. 52 on Rotten Tomatoes. Critically, it is a 73 audience score.
Yeah, it's still pretty big.
Yeah, it's not bad. What are you gonna do? Better than the first one. Audience says better than the first one. Nun 2 makes up for its so-so story with plenty of fun jump scares.
Sure.
Can't say better than that. Critics' consensus: scarier than its predecessor, The Nun 2 makes for an entertaining addition to the Conjuring franchise, despite not being the most original horror sequel. Absolutely true.
I think it's pretty fair.
We didn't even talk about like the Eyes of St. Lucy shit.
I did.
Did you?
Yes.
I don't know.
I think you just blank out a lot.
Because
you miss scenes in these movies.
I got something going on.
You kept going, when did that happen? I was like, that was a whole scene we watched. Wow. I didn't go deep into it. But yeah, I like the whole idea of the Eyes of St. Lucy. Just because we talked about that in grade school, the Eyes of St. Lucy.
I don't remember saying
that's like a real
thing. I mean, I remember like hearing the eyes on the plate, but I didn't know it was like a lost artifact.
It's not. I don't think it's actually lost.
Yeah.
It might be like put somewhere that no one, like it was on purposely put in like a place of hiding. But I like all that stuff, and I love them eventually connecting that they are related. The Warren, Lorraine and her.
Do they say it outright?
No, they say they're in the same bloodline. That's why she can see the thing,
Okay.
which I liked.
I don't
like
remember
that
them saying it outright, but I mean, like,
no,
obviously
they say
you
like
realize,
the
but
bloodline, and then they show a
Yeah.
shot of Lorraine.
Okay.
So they're not like direct.
Mhm.
I mean, in real life, they are their sisters.
Yeah.
What great acting genes. Both of them carry this universe.
Fantastic.
But yeah, you want me to start off the actual list though?
Sure.
Because you're still trying to work on it. Do you want me to go all the way through, or do you want to do back and forth?
No, we can do back and forth.
Back and forth. Okay, so starting off at the number. The wrong button.
Starting at 9.
Yeah, starting at 9. I have Annabelle. I think it's the weakest one in the franchise. I think it has laid the opening scene and then nothing else.
Yeah.
So it's the weakest one for me. I don't like any of the performances as well.
Yeah. No, I think I was going to say La Llorona for number 9, but the more I think about Annabelle, the more I realize that I laughed a few times during La Llorona, and then I just had no emotions during Annabelle whatsoever.
It's just not good.
It's just
we
fine.
almost talked during because
Yeah.
this is just
It might be a
poor.
better movie just slightly, like critically, but it's not enjoyable.
It's not.
It's whatever. Yeah. So I think I'll put Annabelle at 9. But I mean, it's
Hey.
interchangeable.
Number 8, as we said, and very interchangeable is La Llorona.
Yeah.
I think these two. I mean, like to me, it's like top 2, middle ground, like a big chunk of them. These two, like I think these are drastic drop offs from the rest of the franchise.
Yeah.
Because at least the other ones, they might be bad movies. They have fun scenes.
Yeah, that's
These
true.
both have good openings and nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think it's La Llorona at number 8.
Yeah, La Llorona is gonna be my number 8
You're in
too.
agreement?
Yeah, Tuco couldn't bring it through, unfortunately. Although every time I see him, I'm just like tight. I was like, come on.
He would look so serious for a role that didn't need him to be that serious.
Yeah, it was just not. It was just so undercooked. Like there was just nothing.
No substance.
There's nothing there.
At number 6, I have Annabelle Creation. Another movie that I wanted so much more out of it.
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't get it.
Yeah.
So I mean, again, I said this at the beginning of the episode. 7 to 5, those 3 are all very interchangeable. It depends on the day I'm watching them. I might one day think that they're better, one's better than the other, but I think they're very interchangeable. So at the moment, that's my number 7 is Annabelle Creation. I think I know yours.
My next 3 are pretty. My next 2 are pretty interchangeable, but I think I might go Annabelle Creation at 7.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
Oh, it's pretty similar.
Look at us.
Who would have thought?
Not me. Yeah, no, it's just we said before. It's a very middle of the road movie. Yeah, I guess I like that movie better than this.
And number 7, I think we have the exact same list almost. Oh, actually, I don't know. Because I remember we had a conversation after leaving.
No, there's definitely one movie that you like more than me.
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah.
So I just don't know where it's going to be. But
It's fine.
number 6 is The Nun. I like this movie, but it's still a miss in total. It just doesn't have enough pieces to be better than the rest of the movies on the list. Except for the one above it, again, could shift depending on the day. I just wish that there was more horror in there. For as much as the great set designs and everything is, it just misses by a slight bit. Maybe change 2 or 3 scenes, and it's a much better film. But yeah, that's my number 6.
My number 6 is going to be The Nun 2.
I know it.
And I know what everybody's thinking. Dumbass. Why is Nun 2 lower than The Nun? It's very simple. I like the castle. I just like the setting of The Nun, and I think it was cool. And The Nun 2, didn't love it. Okay, fine. That's it. It literally came down to the setting of the movie for me.
That's fair. I have nothing against that.
I just really liked the setting of The Nun. I just thought it was cool looking. Because it was all practical, and this one's just...
This is practical.
I know it's practical, but it's just...
a real school.
I know, but it's just a boarding school, and I'm like, this is fucking boring.
Yeah, that boarding school was scary as hell. Do you remember that chapel? Chapel's
Yeah, I
frightening.
didn't give a shit. We were in a big castle convent with crucifixes all around it. It was dope looking.
It was cool.
Yeah,
I'm arguing you.
I know. Just saying.
Number 5, Conjuring 3. The Devil Made Me Do It.
Mm.
Another movie It's fine. It could have been a lot better. That's why it's in the spot. And then I'm gonna say from here on out are movies I actually enjoy. The rest of them I think are solid. So
Yeah.
this movie, it should have been so much better than what we got because you had two great horror movies and then this as the end of a trilogy. So Conjuring 4: The Last Rite, be good. Be better than this.
Just give the James Wan.
Yeah,
please,
James Wan, please. I am begging you. Do the movie.
Yeah, I guess my number 5 is going to be The Nun. It's still not a good movie. There's no defense for me putting The Nun 2 under it. There is no defense. I just like the castle. That's it. It's not a castle. It's a convent. It's a castle to me, and I'll take it. It's whatever. It just looks cool.
Fair enough.
That's literally it.
Well, moving into our top 4. This is where, in my opinion, the movies get fun and rewatchable. Number 4. This was a lot of thought for me. 3 and 4 had changed a lot in these last couple days. I'm gonna go with The Nun 2. I had it above Annabelle Creation until we rewatched Annabelle Creation.
Right.
Because I think The Nun 2 is a really fun horror adventure. It doesn't really stick to main horror. I like the idea of it's kind of like an adventure, and I like all the performances. I think Bollock, again, I think it's the coolest one of the coolest horror characters out there, and she just scares me. I've had nightmares about her since I watched this movie. So I'm a big fan of it. I like The Eyes of St. Lucy. I like all that whole storyline. So yeah, I like The Nun too. I know me and Ryan, big difference, but I'm a big fan. So that's my number 4.
I'm a big fan.
Big fan.
My number 4.
Big fan never caught on to big fan.
No.
It's the language me and Ryan made up to talk about a girl I like.
Not at all.
Not at
all. My number 4 is The Conjuring. 3, Devil Made Me Do It.
I completely forgot. I thought you were really putting this somehow. The Conjuring was
no.
4.
Yeah, this is a fine movie. There were things I liked about it, things that I couldn't give less of a shit about, and it was just that. It was okay. Undercooked. Michael Chavez is just, all of his movies feel exactly the same. It is what it is. But yeah, it's fun. It's above bad. It's rewatchable.
It's above bad.
Yeah, it's above bad.
That's funny.
Thanks.
Number 3, I have Annabelle Comes Home. Movie I think is a lot of fun. Liked it way better than the second time I'd watched this. This is my third, I think, or fourth time I watched it. And I loved it the first time. Didn't really love the times in between. But I really enjoyed it this time. I think it's a lot of fun. And what me and you talked about, it's a very good movie to just put on at night. If you guys want to watch a horror movie but don't actually want to be too scared, may jump a couple times. This is it. This is the perfect movie to put on for that.
Yeah.
And it's just fun. I like the cast. I like the 2 teenage babysitters. I like the girl from Gifted, whatever her name.
Yeah, I forget her name.
McKenna Grace.
I don't know.
I think that's what it is. Very good. I love it. You're very good actors. Keep doing what you're doing. And I know you're making music now. Cool. And
we haven't listened to it. I just saw it when I looked you up.
Bob's got balls though. Bob's got balls.
Bob does have balls.
Yeah, that's my number 3.
Yeah, I think my number 3. I could agree with you, but I think I'm gonna go Conjuring 2 for my number 3.
I thought when we got done Conjuring 3, the way you reacted to that one.
You mean Conjuring 2?
No, when we got done Annabelle 3.
Oh, you said Conjuring 3.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You threw us both
when
off.
We got done Annabelle 3. Right away I was like, he liked that more than Conjuring 2.
Yeah.
And it is more fun.
It is way more fun. It's not great. I mean, Conjuring 2 is a much better movie.
This is
not get me wrong. Yeah, this is way more fun.
Oh, Conjuring 2 is a disturbing movie.
Yeah, it's not a good time. This poor girl. So sad.
It's sad.
Even her siblings hate her at the end. You're like, yo, what the fuck, man? Yeah, Conjuring 2 it's a good movie, but yeah. It's number 3
Fair
for
enough.
me.
Mine's The Conjuring 2 at number 2. I don't think it's a surprise to anyone. Conjuring 2 is so much fun. For me, I like the feeling of being scared. I like when they hit more emotional stuff, like the fact that everyone's against this girl at one point. I think she's lying. I like that whole storyline. And I just think it's scary. It's generally a scary movie to me. But It's not as scary as my number one, which I think is the greatest horror movie ever made.
I will say that it is a good twist when like the reporter lady catches her like throwing the shit around in the kitchen. She's like, she's faking it, and you're like, what? What was going on? She's like, said it would kill you if it didn't fake it. I was like, oh,
you're like,
oh, cool.
That was cool. That is a good scene.
That was a good
it's
scene.
just a good movie. Like it just knows how to do horror.
The one thing I did think about when I got home, they never explained what happened to the old man. Because he's yelling like, "Help me! She's holding me here."
Oh, they got rid of Vogue, so he got to go to heaven.
Does he go to go? Because they never followed up on it.
Yeah, that's what they were just saying. Like Volok's holding him.
Yeah, I assumed he went to heaven or whatever, but they never explained it.
That's what I think happened. He just left
because they just okay. I hope so. Because they never go back and are like, "You good, buddy?" And he's like,
"Oh, the scene about Conjuring 2 I liked the ending, the credits, super scary."
Yeah, you hear the actual audio.
Yeah, and they send like show you a bunch of and they explain that the mom ends up dying in the exact same chair that Bill Wilkins died in.
Yeah.
Woo! Good ending. Love that movie. So that's my number 2.
It probably wasn't the same chair. They probably just because they
said the same chair.
No, they say a chair in the living room.
Oh, in the same.
So
corner.
It's probably it was probably a different chair, but they were just like, we're not going to mention different chair because it sounds much cooler.
I'm not gonna lie, they were pretty broke.
Yeah,
it might have been.
It could have been the same chair. Yeah, who knows? Moving on to number 2.
We know what your number 2
Annabelle
is.
3. Annabelle Comes Home. It was just fun, man. I want to watch it again because the whole time you're watching all these movies, like, oh man, I wonder what that was. I wonder what that was. I wonder what that was. And you see a lot of shit in this movie, and you're like, that's pretty cool.
There's so many explanation videos about that.
Yeah, I gotta watch some more because I want to see. God, that fucking samurai, dude.
I've never seen someone so excited for a horror thing to go up.
Every time they go in that room, be like, dude, what the hell is that samurai suit from? And then finally, it just turns its head. I'm like, yes.
No, man, you gotta hear those scary ass screams coming out of it. From the women and children it killed.
Loved every second of it. So much fun.
Okay, and then oh, I'm sorry.
No, yeah, Annabelle 3. The only thing I didn't love, the werewolf is definitely over the top, but the whole movie's over the top. Fun. It's so fun. It's just a werewolf for all of a sudden.
Bob beats it with a guitar.
Yeah. It's such like a scientific horror movie, like horror series. Like they bring it all down to like they make it a science.
Like they bring it down to like what is a real ghost.
Yeah, there's a fucking werewolf running around. Like what the? How did this happen?
Especially when you read into it more, they did say the guy was just mentally insane.
Yeah,
but I don't think it's anything crazy. What our number 1 is, we have the same agreement.
Yeah,
it's The Conjuring, the movie that started this incredible franchise. Because you'll see with horror movies, this is probably the Insidious. We could argue is better, but Insidious is a lot shorter than this franchise. Mm-hmm. Not many horror franchises can stem 9 movies and still have good movies at the end of that,
and still have
box office bang.
Yeah, have studios saying like, okay, you can make another one. Like,
because what do they have now? Conjuring 4, Annabelle 4, and the TV show.
Yeah. Are they doing Annabelle 4?
Yeah, I looked it up after we finished the story. And James Wan's the showrunner of the show.
Good.
So, Conjuring 1, we've talked about it already to an extent. For a while, this episode, it's the best movie by far in this franchise.
Yeah.
It's a great movie and a great horror movie. It's just amazing that James Wan was able to make something so scary, but make you care so much about every single character. And the fact that they show you that not every house is haunted, but there are actual hauntings as well.
Yeah.
So that's what I have to add about Conjuring.
So my number 1 is also going to be Conjuring 1. Now, obviously, it is the best movie. It's one of the best horror movies. I'd say it's most probably the best horror movie of the 21st century.
I would agree.
Like, yeah. Because I'm trying to think what else. Because people can say like Exorcist and stuff is better. That's fine, but
those are the '70s Jaws and the Exorcist. The other 2 I put up against.
Yeah,
and
the
Halloween,
iconic ones.
The 3 I hold against it are all the '70s.
Yeah, are all classic movie. Yeah.
Dream of Haunted Asylum.
This shit's scary, dog. I don't even want to talk about that movie. Yeah, Conjuring 1. It's just good.
It's a banger.
Yeah, it's very effective. It all makes sense in the end. It's just scary. That fucking idiot, though, when he's trying to find a little girl, he's like, I found her. She's under the floorboards, under the table. Like, nobody else was looking for her. Just keep your mouth shut. Come on.
But she just looks up.
Oh, that is creepy when she scampers away.
Yo. She was scary as hell. But yeah, that is the end of our ranking of the Conjuring Universe. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys liked our list, didn't
She
hate
was
it.
specifically under this table right here. Do you see where I'm pointing? Right here. Do all the ghosts see this?
So thank you guys so much for tuning into this episode. Ryan is going to continue to watch more horror movies.
Maybe. You
We're
gonna
going to
pay me?
find something that's as scary as Jojima Haunted Asylum.
Hell no.
And we're going to do an episode ranking our top 10 scariest movies.
Willow Creek.
We'll watch Willow Creek
Fucking
again.
scary
You
movie,
brought it up,
dude.
so now we got to rewatch it.
No, what do we know?
Yeah.
Turning into the horror show.
We're going to do an episode of the top 10 scariest movies in our opinion.
Go ahead. Have Colin on.
Colin doesn't watch horror. You do.
Colin doesn't watch movies.
That is true. So yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Make sure to continue liking and sharing the episodes. And yeah, keep following us on all of our socials. Farhan_12, Tom_Crest of the shows is the_popcorn_pod cast. And our TikTok is the popcorn_pod. Ryan, what do you want to let everyone know on this Halloween evening before we let them go?
I don't know, go break some shit. Have fun.
Don't go break anything.
Don't actually put razor blades in candy. It's not very nice.
Only Ryan does that.
Oh, that's my thing. Don't steal my whole flow.